So the first thing to do is to import the background we want to use. The background is being customized, but there is a way that we can make use of that. So select the background like this. But before then, what we need to do, I select this background to know the kind of the size I want to use. So right now I'm going to bring the background as an overlay because it's not up to this. So fine, after that has been done, then the next thing I need to do is to go to the shape like this. You can see, then you use what you need to do is to use two particular the gradients. So just tap on this, then you use the color picker, pick the color at this around this place. Then when you are able to pick that, you pick the same color for the second one, pick the color here. Okay, so when you pick that color, click OK. Then the next thing you need to do is that the second one which you pick, first of all select the kind of okay, I'm coming, select how you want it to be. So I select this particular model, then I will tap on it again and make this one fit. Okay, you can see, right? Then shift this a little bit. So after that, you can see what I come up with. Then the next thing is that you should just zoom it. The essence is to make this area to be clean. So bring this one in while you bring this like this, so that it will cover the exact part that you want it to cover. So do the same thing to blend that particular area. So if it is still showing, it means you need to make it transparent totally. So make it transparent so that there won't be any traces at the upper corner, and now you can see everything blend like that. So when you're able to do that, then the next thing we need to do is to bring this particular image, which we're going to be around this area. Sorry, so hide this one first, then we're going to bring another image which we are going to do a kind of a blending to the background. So I'm going to just make this one fade a little bit. It will still be showing, but make it to be like 30. Okay, so when you do the same thing, you are going to copy a little bit. So when you copy that, position that around here, so will be the best. So the next thing you can still do to make it okay, so you can still copy, so bring that one here, then you send it to the back. So when you send it to the back, you can now bring it to the front. So okay, everything will seem cool, but make sure that this one is not even nowhere to be found. It will just be showing like you are just giving a particular object a chance to breathe. You understand? And everything seemed to be cool at that particular area. So another one I'm still having an issue with, okay, is this particular one. So let's see, hide this. Okay, this is it. So this one I want it to be fading a little bit again. Okay, so I will go to the fading, fade it a bit. Okay, perfect. So make it to be 10 so that the right up on top of it will be obvious. So after that you are able to do that, then we'll go in there and bring this the particular ring for the love. So after that, go in and bring the image which you want to put inside. So we are going to do a kind of, I'll do the cutoff behind the screen before, but I need to show you this because the image need to enter. So how are we going to do that? The first of all, just the transparent background for you to be able to see where you are going to cut apart. So after that, you bring this one here, and we have this around this particular area. So bring it very well, shift it like that. So shift it. Okay, perfect. So after you are able to do that, you can see how I cut it. So you can still adjust if the stuff is not really okay with you. Okay, so use this particular arrow. Okay, this arrow to bring it in. Okay, then you now move it. Okay, so when you move it, then the next thing you need to do is that you need to place one here because we want to cut it perfectly. So another one should come to this side. So I want to cut it in such a way that there won't be any space at all. Okay, perfect. So after that we need to just enable it. Once we enable it, then the next thing we need to do is to make it obvious for us to see. Okay, perfect. Then what we are going to do is to copy. So when you copy it, let's see whether we already copy it. You can see this is it. Then you go back to the mask and click out for you to see the remaining lower part. So when you are able to do that, then you position it perfectly here, which means we already wrong cut it. So we're supposed to cut from the here. That is what we need to do. Why the other one will go wrong? So there's no need cause for alarm. Just cancel. Then we go back to the image here. Why we are going to position this here? You can see that one can be the way it was. So when you are able to get that, then we go back to our image, then click on out. So when you're able to see this, so just move it, the mouse to close, then you are going to send this to the back. So just bring it to the back of the image and boom, we are done. So this is just a trick to carve that into the image after you are able into the rings. So after you are able to do that, then the next thing we need to do is to bring the flower to cover that. So let's take it for instance. We'll bring this particular flower. You can see that will cover that particular area. So when you are able to bring that, the rest are so simple. So we are going to bring another flower. Okay, so I want to try something. So let's try this flower, whether it will be able to work here. Okay, so we're going to increase that, put it here. So the next thing is to bring it to the back and let this be at the front. And when you look at it, it's really okay and somehow cool than before. Okay, perfect. Then we still need another one. Okay, so another one that will be at the back of the image. So let's bring this one here. This one will be at the back of the image. So we're going to bring this one at the back, so we should be showing perfect. So you can bring it into the top, so and we'll have the perfect picture for that. So have it lock immediately you bring it, you lock it. So after we're able to do that, so the next thing we need to do now is to put in all our write-up. So we have Biola. Okay, this is our Nigerian Biola. Then we go into the text, the font. So we're going to use the bold font for it. So we increase the size for that. Okay, perfect. So that will be around here. Okay, so we're going to change the color to this, so that one really blend with it. Okay, perfect. So immediately we're able to do that, then there should be a kind of okay, cool. Then we're going to have this particular round circle. So when you have that, position that at the middle here. So but get one thing what I want to do now to make it a bloom. So I want it to be at the center so that it will be cool. So which means this is at the center. So after position it at the center, then the next thing we need to do is to change the color. So change the color to this. Then you are going to use your transparent opacity to reduce the size. The boldness, the hardness of the color to 30. Then you copy the same thing, then go to the color, then you change that, go and increase the opacity to 100, click OK. Then we are coming here, then you reduce the size to be able to position it here. Now to make this accurate, you can now use your relative position to the center. Then you go to relative position to position it to the center as well. So you are now going to merge the two, then you bring it down one after the other. Then when you look at it, you discover that it look awesome. Now I'm still thinking that the image below is somehow fading more, so I want to increase it to make it more visible. So after I'm able to do that, I will go into the text, then we have this particular hand to see whether it will work, and it will work perfectly. So I'm going to change the color to not white, but something like I use the color picker, pick the color somehow related to this, then I will click OK, then position that here by reducing the color, I mean the size, then position it at the middle. So okay, cool, perfect. So now reposition this perfectly to look awesome. So you can use your position icon to move it perfectly. So after that, we are going to change this to Adeola. So position that here. Okay, sorry, you can see Biola and KG. Sorry, KG. So this will be KG. Then you can see how perfect is it. KG me. KG me. Okay. So now to make this one cool, the next thing we need to do is that you can look at it that the stuff chop won't kg, sorry, or what we call it, kg. So what we're going to do now is to merge everything together, including the biola. Then you are going to reposition to the center to make it fitting, and when you look at it, it's absolutely fine. So now there's one thing that we need to do which I didn't do perfectly right from beginning. So I need to copy this particular image, which you can see. So after copy it, I need to go back to where I do the manipulation, increase it a little bit to go up, so why this will go down a little bit. Then I will have this particular picture. So after that, I will increase the size a little bit, then increasing it a little bit to cover this particular area. Okay, it has to cover it very well. So I will reduce this back or send it to the back, so you can see. So after I'm able to do that, then the next thing I need to do is to send it to the back. So I will now go to this place and make it to be on top. So after that, I will still increase it a little bit because it shouldn't be showing like that. Okay, so I'm going to lock this. So I have to double it again. So when I double it, I will increase, go in here. Then the transparent should not be much like that. Okay, I guess it's cool like this. So I will send that to the back while I will bring this to be on top of everything. So make sure you lock the two. Then when you look at that stuff, is it really well? It's okay, but there is a kind of a mistake here. So what I need to do at that junction is to make this to be fade as well, while I will shift this to the top a little bit. So send that, then let's see. So which shows that there's no anything showing anymore and everything is seem to be cool. So the next thing I need to do after that has been done, I need this particular sticker, so can do the whole work for me. So I just want to use it to blend it. So I will position that here, tap the empty area, copy, then position that here, copy, position that here, copy, position that here, copy, position that here. So after I'm able to do that, I will lock the four at the same time. Then the next thing I need to do is that I will send everything to the back and position it to where it's supposed to be. So after positioning that way, I will send this to the back. Then I should be able to see the result I wanted. Okay, perfect. So when I'm able to do this, then the next thing I need to do is to go into this particular color, change it to white. Just change the whole color to white. While I will go to the second one, change the whole color to white. Okay, perfect. Go to the third one, change the whole color to the white. Okay, perfect. So everything seemed to be plumb like that. So the next thing we need to do after that, we look at the third one at the top corner here. Then we're going to reduce the opacity a little bit. Let me see. So which means this has not even done anything. So perfect. So the next thing we need to do at this junction is to bring this one to the front. While I bring this to the front as well, I have to reduce this font for this a little bit to 110, while this will be reduced to 110 as well. Then after that, I can manually adjust the two, manually adjust it, while this will be adjusted as well. So after adjusting it, just merge the three together, then we position it to the center. Sorry, we can merge the three like this. While we adjust it manually. Just make sure that you make it position perfectly. Let's check it this well. So it's too close to one side. Which means this should be sent to the back or height. Okay, we're able to see the color perfectly now. So we can manually adjust this. Let's check. Still remove little. Adjust manually a little bit. Okay, perfectly. So when you look at it, everything seems to be cool. But the next thing we need to do now is to send that to the tab. So we are going to merge the four together again. Then we shift it to the tab a little bit. Okay, perfect. We shift it to the tab a bit. Okay, perfect. So after that has been done, then the next thing we need to do is to go into the text area. Then we have the date. So when you have the date, we go to this and we'll put the 6th, sorry, 5th of January. 5th of January. Then we'll put the time, which the time is the time, put an anything. Then you have the 9 a.m. Okay, that is for the time. Then we look for perfect font that could be able to suitable for that. So I want to use this Beggiano font, or I check this silver font. So Beggiano font will be the best for that. So I will use Beggiano font to reduce the size a little bit. Then I will have to make sure that it's bold. So just position it to the center. then you bold it a little bit. Okay, perfect. So 5th of January, then let there be space in between the 5th and the January. Okay, 5th of January, very good. So the next thing we need to do now is we'll put our the address. So we'll just say at Diko Lensa. Okay, just say Diko Lensa. Diko Lensa. Fila. Okay, Carl. Carl Auditorium. 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 Okay, so we'll just put this Lagos. Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, perfect. Then we look for perfect fonts that will go for that. So let's look for fonts that will go for that. Let's look for font that can go for this. Okay, this could be able to be good. So we reduce the size. Reduce the size. So the next thing we need to do is to just make one being centralized, while we are going to bring it together a little bit, then you position it here. Perfect. So perfect. So the next thing we need to do is to, you can reduce the size a little bit, or just let it be like that to make cool. So the next thing is, make sure you change the color to make it rhyme with this. Have the color being changed and everything will be plumb, just as perfect as this. So after that, then the next thing we need to do, okay, so now there should be a line that will be a kind of a demarcation. So what we need to do is that I have a font we can form a line for me. So I will go to letter O. So when you type any alphabet, it can give you any shape of whatever shape you want. So let's take it for instance, that one come along with my Pixellab. So if I tap this particular shape, it will bring me that line which I can be able to use for this. So I will increase the size for that. You can see the line I'm talking about. So have it position around here as a kind of a demarcation. So the next thing I want to do is to how to manage this to make it look cool. So I will first of all reduce the size for this a little bit. So when I reduce the size, then let there be spacing between the alphabet. So I will go to the spacing, then I will space it a little bit. So I will still reduce it a little bit while I will still space it a little bit. So after you are able to create a spacing between the alphabet, then centralize it again. Remember, you adjust the upper one because that's what makes it not to be centralized. Now you have creating more space for this line to have its own stuff. So the next thing we need to do is to shift this, let it come to this particular area. Now go to the color, then change the color as well to make it cool. Now what you need to do is to what is to centralize this as well. So to make it look real, what are you going to do? So another thing we can do is that, is this line really okay? So let's go to P, let's say PQRS. So I want to quickly see all of it that will show me. So I've seen the P, okay, the P is really okay, so I would rather go for P instead of O. Then the P give me this particular result, which is really okay because it look like you can see. So this one look more okay than the first one. So after I'm able to position this, so I'm going to centralize this. This is where I'm going to have an issue. So instead of that, since this is for just practicing sake, so we have Bola. So let me just say Biola and Bola. So that one will be able to give me a perfect stuff. So you understand? Then I will be able to go here, just centralize these two together. Let's see. So you can see, so it's positioned at the center directly without any issue. So now I can centralize this as well. Okay, so one thing I will just do a little bit, if the text, you have to be what, you have to be sharp with your eyes and let your eyes be judging sometimes. So you shift it a little bit to make it a fitting to the center. Perfect. So now that you are able to get that, then the next thing you need to do is to reduce the size for this. Reduce the size very well. So let me say auditorium opposite Sake, opposite Sake station. Okay, so when you look at that, I'm able to make it look real again. So then there should be a space a little bit in between this. Now what we're going to do to make everything look awesome, so I'm going to merge everything together. Just merge everything together. So when you are able to merge everything, the next thing is to shift it up a little bit. Okay, perfect. So now you are able to create a space that's supposed to be at the left and the right, and when you look at it, boom, everything look amazing. So next thing that we need to do is this. So just bring this one down a little bit. So when you bring this one down a little bit, you'll be able to bring this down a bit as well, while you are going to draw this down a bit. Then you have your own everything working perfectly. Okay, so shift this a bit. Perfect. So I believe we'll learn something from here. God bless you. So the next thing we need to do to put a finishing touch is to repeating the previous process. So I don't want to stress myself. I will quickly just bringing this one in. So when I bring that, I'll position it around here. So I'll go to the second one, which I'm going to position around here, just increase a little bit. So I'll position it around it as well. So manually adjust that to make it a fitting. So once I'm able to do that, you can see, then the next thing I need to do is to increase the one at the bottom. Okay, increase it a little bit to make it obvious. Okay, perfect. So after that has been done, then I put it there, save the date. So I will go to the text area, where I will have what we call is save the date. Okay, after putting that, then I'm going to change the color to this. So reducing the size very well, and make sure that you smuggle it to fit it in at this particular junction. So the next thing is to make it to be centralized, and the space in between the each words, make it close a little bit, while you are going to position this to the center, and boom, we are done with everything. So this is cool, right? This is how to make a professional wedding invitation card on your Android smartphone using your Pixellab. Thanks for watching. God bless you.